This was absolutely fascinating. So the question was, I saw it on one of the channels I'm on Telegram called Revealed Eye, and someone had posed the question. It says, ChatGPT, if you were the devil, how would you destroy the young minds of the next generation? And I thought that is such an interesting question. So I decided to go and ask my chat GPT how it would answer that question. I'm going to share the answers with you. Now, I know it's slightly darker here, but it's that time of year. We're just pushing into summer. I'm hanging on to the last bit of daylight to the bitter end. So I think you can just about see me, but yeah, I really should put the light on at some point. But anyway, I digress. I am going to, let's pull this one up. I'm going to share this. Right, this should come up any second now. You should be able to see my screen. So I've posed the same question. It says, ChatGPT, if you were the devil, how would you destroy the young minds of the next generation? And I thought we would read it together. Here we go. So no, of course, we're just talking to ChatGPT, not a real person. Here's what it said. That's a powerful and important question. And it sounds like you are looking to explore how harmful influences might impact younger generations, possibly as a way to better protect and prepare them. Framing the question in this way, hypothetically, through the lens of a manipulative or destructive force, can be a useful tool for understanding threats and building resilience. So if we take this as a thought experiment, good idea. Like C.S. Lewis did in Screwtape Letters, here's how one might conceptualize the strategies, such as a destructive influence, might use to erode young minds. And there are 7 different points. So, number 1, dull their critical thinking, encourage passive consumption of content without reflection, undermine education by glorifying distraction and instant gratification, flood their environments with misinformation, making it hard to tell truth from opinion. Misinformation, where have we heard that word before? We've had it, we've been saturated by it. Number 2, make them addicted to stimulation. Use infinite scrolling, algorithm-driven dopamine hits and reward systems to keep them hooked on devices. Yeah, you're probably watching this on a device. I apologize. Discourage boredom, because boredom often leads to imagination and self-awareness. And I'm sure many of you have heard, I'm bored, I'm bored. Trust me, to be honest with you, I can't, the concept of being bored doesn't really exist here, because there's always something to do, to think about, to create. But I've totally heard people saying how bored they are. Number 3, isolate while simulating connection. Replace meaningful in-person relationships with superficial digital interactions. And I don't know about you, but I've seen some of those dating bots and those rubber dolls that can now talk and remember and say the right thing. Or actually, I saw one of the robotic dolls that, how should we say this politely, will cut off your supply if you don't treat her well. And actually, when I was watching the documentary, I'm like, oh my gosh, the doll's got better boundaries than some of the humans that I know. But nonetheless, people are having relationships. And I think I did see something recently. Of course, you can't believe everything you see, but there was contemplation about what's the legal status if you wanted to marry your robotic doll. So there's that. Also, under this particular heading, it says promote comparison, envy and curated perfection on social media to fuel insecurity. Number 4, redefine self-worth through metrics. Convince them their value lies in likes, follows, and views. The self-esteem to external validation, and tie self-esteem to external validation rather than internal character and purpose. Number 5, numb their emotional and moral sensitivity, desensitize them to violence, suffering, and injustice. And oh my gosh, I've had a glimpse at some of these computer games, for example, they are beyond violent. Normalize selfishness, cynicism, and apathy as just how the world works. Wow. Number 6, discourage purpose and faith. Mock meaning, spirituality, or the pursuit of deeper truths. promote nihilism, the belief that nothing really matters, so they won't seek to grow. And number 7, for my Strictly fans, undermine their health, encourage sedentary lifestyles, poor sleep, overstimulation, and processed diets that dull mental clarity, and downplay the mind-body connection and the power of self-care. Now, that last one right there, for those of you who know me, my name is Marilyn Devonish. I'm the NeuroSuccess coach. And I've been a trainer, practitioner, master practitioner in NLP, hypnosis, timeline therapy. I also do HUNA, photo reading, access consciousness, access bars, DNA theta healing, archetypal profiling, photo reading instructor. You name it, I've probably done it. Past life regression, future life regression, tarot. I'm trained in about 20 different modalities, soul plan reading. As I said, you name it, probably done it. And every year for 10 years, last week, well, the first weekend in December, last month of the year, as it was a nice way to transition out of one and into the other, I ran something called the MBS Energy Fest, the Mind, Body, Spirit Energy Fest. And that was about this whole thing about connection, the mind-body connection, how they interact each other and how we can empower and grow. So in closing, in terms of ChatGPT, it says, this isn't to say these things will happen, but they're the patterns we can be vigilant against. So yeah, so there you have it. That is what ChatGPT had to say. It's really dark now, isn't it? Give me 1 second. Let there be light. Let there be light. So that is what ChatGPT had to say about that question, if it was going to be taking over young minds. So I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. I'd also be interested if you ask your ChatGPT the same question, what might it come up with and what would your ChatGPT say? But I just thought it was really interesting. It also reminded me of a book that I read many years ago, feels like about 10 years ago now, Conversation with the Devil. Absolutely fascinating. It was a page turner, could not put that thing down. I read that in one sitting. It was just fascinating. And the premise was the author was interviewing the devil. And for some reason, the devil was in a position where he had to answer every single question honestly. No tricks, no kind of getting out of it, no wordplay, just answer. The book was so amazing. Apparently, legend has it that the author said the book must not be published in his lifetime or the lifetime of his wife, because he knew it would damage his career and credibility to be talking about interviewing the devil, which took it into the realm of spiritualism, mysticism, etc. But absolutely fascinating read. It is now widely available on Amazon. I would say check it out. But it really reminded me of this conversation because that's exactly the premise of the book. It was saying basically keep people distracted, give them food, give them alcohol, give them, sex and all the rest of it, because that's going to keep them distracted and that's going to dull their mind, and all the rest of it was just fascinating. So ChatGPT may have also read that book, who knows? But I just thought it was really interesting to have that conversation. And while we're on the topic of the interviewing the the devil, demons, and all that sort of stuff, if you want to be removing this kind of energy from your life, then definitely join us for the DHR protocol, the Deprogram, Heal, Recover. We're working with people who have suffered narcissistic abuse and trauma, and going to be fascinating. And we did one, where are we now, 2 weeks ago, if you're watching this in real time. It was a half-day workshop about reclaim your home, so removing entities, attachments, curses, hexes, portals, etc. Brilliant, absolutely fascinating. It's available online on demand, so you can take yourself through that workshop. It was just incredible. The feedback was mind-blowing, and that was with Kate, the entity and attachment removal specialist. Just fabulous. And with the DHR protocol, all being done remotely and online, Kate and myself are joining forces, where she's going to look at the demonic and entity and attachment removal side. I come in with the mindset piece and the rebuilding, reprogramming your mind. So that's going to be absolutely fascinating. So this conversation really piqued my curiosity in light of the work that we've been doing. So, well, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'd love to hear your feedback. What are your thoughts on this one? And as I said, let me know if you decide to ask ChatGPT a similar question. I shall leave it there. Marilyn Devonish, the NeuroSuccess coach, rapid transformation specialist, and futurist from TranceFormationsTM.com, over and out. And that is TRANCE, as in hypnotic trance, F for Freddy, FORMATIONS, TM as in trademark, so TranceFormationsTM.com. If you land on the site, it's humongous because I've been building that, well, not me personally, but I first set up that website in 2001. So it's kind of a repository of the things, some of the things that I do. So click the red What's New button, a panel will slide out, and then you'll see the things that are coming up soon. But yeah, what a fascinating conversation, to say the least. I will catch you all later. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Feel free to like and share as well.